Warning, flashing objects. Demo 0.11. Start. Narrator, I see that you're back for more. Alright, let's do this again. Narrator, first, let's get your name out of the way. First name? Last name? Narrator, alright BBB, what are your pronouns? Narrator. Keep it as they slash them. Narrator, now then. B, let's begin your new life. Narrator, a pleasant jingle echoes into the night air, as the door leading out of a roadside mini-mart swings open. You walk out into the starlight, a newcomer to the town of Longhope, carrying a convenience store sushi roll and a cheap flashlight. B, that sushi was suspiciously underpriced. Narrator, you hold the receipt up to the neon open sign, eyeing it closely. B, MMH, oh well. Narrator, you shuffle back to your car, bounty in tow, and gaze over the horizon. Narrator, you stare off towards the sleeping town of Longhope, your new home, and gather your thoughts. Narrator, you haven't had a moment to yourself since that cat practically poofed into existence. But you'd better get going, no way in hell are you pulling another all-nighter. Narrator, opening the car door, you plop down the bag of groceries with a bit of a huff. Narrator, your ear catches a low, restrained sound of claws scraping against leather, the sound of some terrible creature trying to hide her devilry.
Oh, great! Just fantastic.
Narrator, Taro splays her paws and stretches, dragging her claws across the car seat. Taro, well, as my meowther always said, the world is your scratching post. Narrator, she lifts her chin slightly and purrs. Taro, I'll consider sparing your car's interior if you offer me something I want. Narrator, she tilts her head to one side and closes her eyes expectantly. B, Ian. Narrator, you roll your eyes and reach over, gently scratching Taro behind the ears. She's oddly cold for a big fuzzy cat.
That's cute.
Narrator, you peel off the plastic wrap and slide it towards the demanding cat. B, how does a ghost cat eat? The world may never know. Narrator, you sigh, turning the key in the ignition, the old car rattling to life. B, we'd better get going before I totally chicken out. Narrator, the car drives off, peeling out of the convenience store parking lot and down the dimly lit streets of Longhope. Narrator, Taro scarfs down the last bits of sushi, licking specks of rice off her nose.
Your prayers have been answered.
Taro, speaking of ghosts, aren't we on the lookout for that phantom frequency? Narrator, Taro meows, as she gazes out the window and the car drives up the road.
Could this be right?
Narrator, you slide your hand over to the dash and click on the stereo. Narrator, the radio whirs on, with harsh static as it switches between frequencies until it reaches 103.1. Narrator, the static is cut with a crisp and peppy tune, cueing the start of some sort of radio show.
Good evening, freaksters! I'm your host, Madhouse Mike, live at Elkhorn County Radio. What's that? Seems my producer's letting me know that I am, in fact, dead. Thanks, Debbie. Thanks a lot. So, before we get started, I just wanted to give a shout out to all my listeners. It is your support that keeps this show alive. So, as a thank you, I'll be starting tonight's show with some fan mail.
Narrator, Madhouse clears his throat for emphasis, and puts on a silly voice.
Hey, lovely. You want to make thousands working with a flexible schedule from home? Of course you do. Join our loyal family and become the independent girl boss of your dreams. For a tiny fee of $1,200, you two can enroll in our courses and start feeding today. Join us and flourish, the Great Mother. Wow. Thanks much for that threatening and oddly fleshy letter. Seriously, this thing is meaty.
Narrator, you turn off the radio. B. Yuck.
For real?
B. I tried. Turns out 666 Spooky Station isn't an address. Narrator, you grimace, glancing out the window as the woods begin thinning out into a clearing. The skeletal frame of the radio tower stretches up over the horizon, looming over your destination Elkhorn radio station. Narrator, pulling into the radio station's overgrown parking lot, you park between the fading lines. Taro hops up and jumps into her human's arms, insisting on being carried like the oversized baby she is. You open the car door and step outside. B. You feel the brush of Taro's whiskers against your cheek, somewhat easing your fears.
Oh dear.
Narrator, you click on the hefty flashlight with a tight grip. Narrator, you angle the light towards the station, as well as the large metal fence in front of it. Crap. Forgot the bolt cutters again. Narrator, you turn your attention instead to a large sheet of wood spray painted with crude red letters attached to the fence. You read it aloud. B. Keep out. Trespassers will be murder-lated.
Oh, great! Just fantastic.
Narrator, Taro squirms out of her human's arms and daintily lands on her feet. Taro, I heard the place glows red on Friday nights, and the on-air sign never burns out. Bunch of silly rumors, if you ask me. Taro.
You're getting on my nerves.
Narrator, swishing her tail, Taro paces around the parking lot. B. It's already 2 a.m. They should have been here by now. Narrator, checking the time, you stuff your phone into your pocket and scan your surroundings with your flashlight. Success. Roll difficulty, 8. Narrator, the flashlight scans over the empty lot, light dragging across the shattered windows and over the overgrown shrubbery. It suddenly catches a pair of beady red eyes lurking in the treeline, the light glinting off the unblinking eyes.
Ah, what the heck?
Narrator, you yelp in surprise, dropping your flashlight. Narrator, in a flash, the figure leaps from the branches and splays its wings, swooping down before landing with a somersault. Dramatically, the very clouds overhead part, silvery moonlight revealing the creature's feathery visage. B. Wait. Atlas?
Heya!
Narrator, after his dramatic entrance, Atlas shakes out his glossy feathers and flaps his large wings. Narrator, his antennae twitch as he stands on one leg, poking Taro with one of his hind claws.
Hold on a sec.
Narrator, Taro fluffs up, her whiskers standing on end as she hisses. Taro, I am a great and powerful cosmic guardian. Narrator, she bites one of the Mothman's talons.
Bite your tongue.
Total buzzkill.
Narrator, Atlas pulls away, breaking out of Taro's grip. Atlas, it's not too late to be haunted by something cooler, right? B. Taro's doing her best. Narrator, you shoot the Mothman a sharp look. B. You're just jealous you don't have a familiar following you around.
No feathers off my back.
Atlas, too bad ravens hate me. Narrator, Atlas bends down and scoops the flashlight off on the ground. Atlas, here, sorry for spooking you. Narrator, breaking through the greenery, a single blue flame casts an eerie light over a large imposing demon striding into the clearing, a heavy pair of bolt cutters resting at their hip.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Narrator, the tall devil stares down, as if evaluating the small human and their spectral cat. B. H. How do you get here so fast? Jamie, legs.
I have feelings too, you know.
Narrator, the feline hovers past the demon, floats through the fence, and disappears into the overgrowth.
Yes, you. Follow me.
Narrator, Jamie struts towards the chain-link fence, unsheathing the bolt cutters. They snap through the padlock and give a quick thumbs up. Jamie, let the crimes commence.
This isn't my day.
Narrator, you hesitate, stopping just before the gate. Narrator, Atlas nudges you and smiles with his eyes, his antennae flicking forward as he tilts his head to one side. Atlas, don't worry, ghosts literally can't do anything to the living. I bet this dude's just a disembodied voice or a possessed microphone. Narrator, reluctantly, you follow suit, trailing after Atlas as you three approach the abandoned station. Narrator, the exterior of the radio station is tagged with fading graffiti and plastered with condemnation warning posters. Jamie turns the handle to the front door and it clicks open without resistance. Jamie, it is unlocked. How odd. Narrator, looking through the doorway, the dark interior of the station seems impossibly clean compared to the outside. The waiting room is seemingly suspended in time, only faded from months of neglect, maybe years. Narrator, you shuffle in line behind Jamie as you examine the lobby. Stopping a moment, you realize that you're the only one with a flashlight.
Wait, hold on. What?
Is that the best you can do?
Oh, I got a story about this one!
Atlas, okay, it's not seeing but more like smelling.
You have got to be joking.
B, I don't mind really. Narrator, you twirl the flashlight in your hand, nearly dropping it in the process. Narrator, wandering around, Atlas tries the nearest door. After finding it locked, he shuffles over to the recording studio window and presses his face against the glass. Narrator, Jamie frowns and kicks one of the trash cans over. Dozens of lime green soda cans come clanging out, scattering across the floor. They seem surprised, making a face as they scoop up one of the cans.
Allow me a moment to collect my thoughts.
Could this be right?
Atlas, you should know. You did tune into the ghost frequency, right? Narrator, Atlas perks up, his feelers twitching, as he stands back and turns around. B. Narrator, Atlas gives a reassuring nod.
No feathers off my back.
Atlas, I'll catch you up. So, the show was basically this radio host, Madhouse Mike, reading ghost stories and urban myths off a script. It was all super cheesy and I loved it. B, I don't understand why. Atlas, anyways, he's the ghost we're looking for. Madhouse was an expert on the supernatural, so I'm certain that he might know something about your curse.
Absolutely not.
Narrator, Jamie absent-mindedly crushes one of the spilled cans and tosses it back into the trash can.
Total buzzkill.
Narrator, Jamie sniffs the air and stalks over to the reception desk. B. Aren't ghosts usually created from tragedy? He sounds normal enough to me. Narrator, Atlas perks up, set on gushing over this radio ghost.
Oh, I got a story about this one!
Atlas, Madhouse died while advertising for some sketchy drink company. He thought he could bring in more listeners if he drank the entire sample box. Atlas, it actually worked for like 2 seconds. Atlas, I mean really, who'd trust a company named Toxic Waste Energy? B. That's terrible. Atlas, he drank so much that his skin glowed green and then he beefed it from all that radiation. The studio shut down afterwards, and no one alive has been on air since. Narrator, Jamie shoots Atlas a cold look from across the room as they flip through papers scattered behind the reception desk. Jamie, Atlas, you know that rumors do not make friends.
Whose side are you on?
Jamie, turning into a restless ghost is easily the worst-case scenario. Atlas, it's funny, he carried me through those long nights at my old retail job. You know, before I got fired after being robbed twice and starting an electrical fire. The dude was a legend for us night owls.
Mortals truly never change.
This really ruffles my feathers.
Jamie, ugh. Narrator, Jamie shakes their head and grumbles to themselves. Jamie, we should search the place and gather more information. We do not know enough about this phantom.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Jamie, yes, but I doubt we are prepared. Atlas, TCH, what do you think about this B? Narrator, both Jamie and Atlas turn to you, expecting immediate input to settle whatever this is. B, right, I think we need to keep digging. We might find something useful, like a vault of ghostly treasure or a portal to a demon dimension. B, Atlas, think of all the exclusive merch. You could totally ask for an autograph.
Hold on a sec.
Narrator, the Mothman's eyes sparkle. Atlas, you know, for research purposes. Narrator, Jamie absently watches Atlas scamper off deeper into the station, mildly annoyed. They brush past you and open the door before them, ushering the human to follow.
Yes, you. Follow me.
Narrator, avoiding their icy blue gaze, your heart skips a beat at Jamie's words. Even though you agreed, you still feel like they're burning a hole in your chest. B, I was wondering, why'd you come with us? Jamie, I wanted to meet you. A normal human moving to Longhope is kind of a big deal.
Wait, hold on. What?
Jamie, something may have brought you here and I am not sure what. Narrator, Jamie's expression darkens, their gaze trailing down before resting upon you. Your throat feels dry as you try to force a response. B, well, I did meet Atlas before moving here. Jamie, not like that. He may be proud but Atlas lacks any real power. B, Jamie, you're being awfully cryptic. Narrator, you hardly manage to squeak out your words, ready to buckle under Jamie's suffocating aura. Jamie, I say what needs to be said and nothing more. B, okay. Narrator, you've decided Jamie is definitely annoyed with you. Somehow, you have to salvage this. B. So, you'll be there for Friday's movie night, right? Narrator, Jamie's eyes light up, the flame atop their head flickering a warmer blue. Jamie, carrying stuffed sweet potatoes, chicken skewers, and jalapeno dip. Narrator, you picture Jamie wearing a gingham apron and oven mitts all while carrying a tray of freshly baked snickerdoodles. B. Gasp. You cook? Jamie, full-time. B. I have so many questions. Jamie, they call me the grill master. B. Jamie, I need answers. Jamie, I need you to keep walking. B. Sure thing, grill master.
Do not say that.
Narrator, with a grunt, you manage to shove the door open, knocking down a filing cabinet blocking the doorway within the room. Narrator, stepping over the cabinet, you gaze around the office. Narrator, the room is completely trashed. Loose papers are scattered across the carpet, green sludge is smeared across the walls, and a bookshelf full of records and trophies are smashed to bits.
Oh dear.
Narrator, Atlas lets out a gasp, stumbling towards the sorry pile of vinyls and falls to his knees.
Oh, man!
Narrator, the Mothman scoops up a handful of shattered records, letting shards fall between his feathers. Atlas, these were original copies. B. Couldn't you just download the digital album? Atlas, no. It's about the rich, omnidimensional sound. Narrator, ignoring Atlas' mournful muttering, Jamie runs their hand across the wall, tracing out the words written in faintly glowing slime.
Allow me a moment to collect my thoughts.
Narrator, Jamie steps back, reading the words scrawled onto the wall. B. Sounds like a website.
Total buzzkill.
Atlas, I know that one. It's a blog that reports on abnormal occurrences. Atlas, I was actually a mod there for like a month. B. Right. We'd better take a look around. Failure. Roll difficulty, 8. Would you like to reroll? 1. B. Where should I start? 2 left. B. Narrator, sneaking around the office, you stop at the desk resting in one corner, looking it over with your flashlight. Narrator, a chunky computer hums with power and the monitor rests on the desk, a single sticky note slapped to its screen. It reads, password, death proof in messy pen strokes. Narrator, you click on the monitor, which blinks on and flashes a group photo of the studio members before sputtering out again. Narrator, clicking on the monitor once more, you click the minimized web page and are greeted with the ghost hunting forum. Narrator, someone seems to have scoured the page, leaving comments, and even arguing with the moderators under the username RadioGhost1. Narrator, one comment reads, "This guy sounds so cool. I wonder what he was like in life." A response under the same username reads, "Great post. Heaven's really missing out lol." Narrator, scrolling down, you see that Mike's been banned for self-advertising. Narrator, you let out a yelp, turning around sharply as something cold brushes against you.
What the heck?
Narrator, a human-sized figure crafted out of empty toxic waste cans sits in the dusty office chair. Narrator, the figure has a marker mouth hanging open in a smile, its head built from a half-crushed milk jug and paper clips strung together like hair. A name tag clipped to the forehead reads Debbie. B. This is seriously creepy. B. Let's see here. 1 left. B. Trophy case. Narrator, following the trail of papers, you stop at the smashed trophy case, stepping over the glass shattered against the floor. Narrator, it seemed to have held a variety of commemorations and awards celebrating radio entertainment the station had broadcast. Narrator, you shift through the destruction, only finding the remains of awards to obscure bands and talk shows like Shark Infinity, Tiny Red Panda, and DJ Bean Angel. Nothing about Madhouse, though.
Oh dear.
Booyah!
Jamie, we have been here long enough. Narrator, Jamie gestures to the door, their tail flicking impatiently.
Total buzzkill.
Narrator, Atlas begrudgingly leaves the remains of shattered vinyls behind. Narrator, as you three head out into the hallway, Atlas briskly marches ahead. Jamie just rolls their eyes with a scoff. Atlas, last room. Narrator, following Atlas' voice, you and Jamie turn the corner and stop abruptly. He's fiddling with the doorknob and pointing a feeler up at the glowing on-air sign that fills the hall with an eerie red light. Atlas, it's totally jammed. Narrator, Atlas is cut short as a hand shoots out from the door, grabbing at the moth's neck fluff. It stops, confused, and slinks back behind the door. Atlas, guess I scared em off?
Is that the best you can do?
Narrator, the door suddenly vanishes, leaving Atlas tumbling into the studio room.
Well, well, well.
Madhouse, what took you so long? Y'all three totally left me hanging. Madhouse, dead air is a career killer in this line of work. You could have at least rescheduled with my producer.
Could this be right?
Madhouse, ah, so you met M. Madhouse, not much of a talker. Madhouse, so, who are you and what do you want? Narrator, suddenly blinking into view, Mike appears in his full ghoulish glory.
Wait, hold on. What?
Are you listening to me?
Atlas, oh me gosh. Mike Madhouse. Narrator, Atlas takes a sharp breath, absolutely starstruck at the sight of his hero, a real urban legend.
Oh boy, I'm a huge fan!
Jamie, growling. Narrator, Atlas looks up at Jamie, who's blankly staring at Mike, hunger glazed over their eyes. Atlas, Jamie. Don't. Narrator, he turns back towards the phantom and squeaks. Atlas, we're here to join you on tonight's show. Narrator, Madhouse pauses. Madhouse, I don't think that'd be a good idea. Narrator.
Come on, loosen up!
Madhouse, except you, the one with the ram horns. I don't deal with devils. Jamie, bold choice of words for a dead man. Madhouse. You're drooling on the carpet. Sorry Jamie. Jamie, I understand. Weak-willed spirits tend to fall faint around me. Narrator, Atlas does a giddy fist pump to himself and stands up straight.
Booyah!
Atlas, I am a serious business boy.
Good evening, freaksters!
Madhouse, we've got a special treat tonight, guests from the realm of the living. Why don't you introduce yourselves? Narrator, Mike makes a nod, cueing the two in.
Heya!
Oh, great! Just fantastic.
Narrator, you whisper at the Mothman, shooting him a glare. B, I'm B and this is Atlas. I just moved to Longhope. We're both big fans. Madhouse, wow, you've got guts moving to a town full of cryptids.
Wait, hold on. What?
Madhouse, then there's your buddy Atlas here who's the one and only Mothman. Prophet of the Silver Bridge, bringer of disaster. So, what's it like being an omen of destruction? Atlas, no, that'd be my dad. I'm just a Mothman, not the Mothman. I can't really control my visions, either. Atlas, I'm just here helping out a friend. B, you can see the future. Madhouse, alright, let's stay on topic. Narrator, Mike waves his hand around, shaking his head with a smile. Madhouse, I say we move on to our next segment. Madhouse, how about some episodic callbacks? It should be a total breeze for such big fans. B, yep. I'm a real mega fan. Madhouse, episode 15, which undead horror did we interview on the show? B, ah. Narrator, you sit there quietly, shuffling your feet and tapping the counter, unsure of what to say. Narrator. A.
Oh, I got a story about this one!
Narrator, the Mothman throws a wing up into the air, exclaiming the answer. Narrator, folding your arms across your chest, you sink into their chair with a scowl. Madhouse, perfect. Narrator, Mike moves things right along. Madhouse, this is a spicy one. In episode 26, who was Sasquatch's secret lover? Narrator, Atlas looks like he's about to spontaneously combust. B, it's on the tip of my tongue. Narrator, you look a little flushed. Narrator. Bigfoot number 2. Atlas, the Goatman. Madhouse, not bad. Though, you really ought to give your friend here a chance.
This isn't my day.
Madhouse, in Season's 1 finale, what news broke that night? Madhouse. I'm pretty. Narrator, Atlas gently taps you on the foot with a talon and whispers to you before you can answer. Atlas, there was an alien abduction. B, it was aliens. Madhouse, oh yeah? Just how many episodes of my show aired on the radio? Narrator, Atlas whispers to you in a hushed voice. Atlas. 32. B, th 32. Madhouse, correct. Narrator, the ghost's smile falters, giving the two a cold look. Narrator, next question, what did I have for breakfast? Narrator, you look to Atlas for an answer, but he doesn't respond. Atlas, I don't know. Narrator, the ghost is absolutely thrilled by Atlas' answer, giggling to himself as he slaps up his soundboard. Madhouse, any real listener would know, I skip breakfast.
Can you just listen to me?
Yawn! Who freaking cares?
Narrator, Atlas shrugs. B, how do you skip ads on a radio?
Don't you know who I am?
Narrator, Mike's smile falters as he flicks off the microphones and whirls around. Madhouse, you two turds are totally ruining my show. Narrator, he points at Atlas. Madhouse, you. Atlas, me? Madhouse, you'll be helping me out here. Narrator, the ghost growls and clicks on the microphones, snapping back into his chipper host persona.
Booyah!
Madhouse, now you all know that personally I love toxic waste. In fact I drank so much that my skin turned green, ha. Madhouse, but, I can recognize my own biases so don't just take my word for it. Atlas, pal, why don't you try out their newest flavor, Beyond the Grave? Narrator, a can of toxic waste suddenly appears in the Mothman's grasp as though he had always been holding it. Narrator, Atlas grips the can in his claws and cracks it open, letting the green foam trail down his feathers.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Madhouse, just drink it. Narrator, he takes a sip. Atlas, oh she. Narrator, the moth drops like a rock. Madhouse, so what do you think? I'm sure we're all dying to know. Narrator, suddenly Atlas perks right back up, and wipes away the green liquid trailing from his mouth.
Booyah!
Narrator, you jump from your seat. B, wait, what's going on? What did you do to Atlas? Atlas, can I just say, I really enjoy our time spent together, Maddie. If I may be so bold, management should screw right off. Seriously, what do those jerks know? Sure, you're rotting away in an abandoned building, but hey, at least the possums are nice.
That's not in the script.
Madhouse, why don't you explain the rules, Flyboy? Narrator, Atlas jitters unnaturally, his antennae twitching as he speaks. Atlas, sure thing, Maddie. The rules are easy. Mike here will describe a cryptid and you have to guess what it is. If you get it wrong, you'll suffer a tiny penalty. If you're alive by the end, you win. B, a penalty? I'm guessing you'll kill me if I refuse to play. Madhouse, no way. I'll just be keeping Atlas as collateral, so by all means, leave your precious Mothman behind. I could use a CO host. B, fine. I'll play your stupid game. Automatic save made. Narrator, you plop back down in the cushioned office chair and fold your arms. Atlas, now's your chance to really let your knowledge shine.
This is for the fans!
Madhouse, question 1. Madhouse, sighted in 1971, the Missouri monster, Momo, is known to scare off attackers with what? Madhouse. It stinks.
Could this be right?
Madhouse, well, that's definitely an answer. Drumroll time. Narrator, Madhouse turns on a drumroll SFX. Atlas, that was so easy. Kmen, are you even trying? Narrator, Madhouse grins with an idea thanks to his faithful fan. Madhouse, you're completely right, I've gone softer than a marshmallow. Madhouse, question 2. Madhouse, Old Ephraim, a cryptid found terrorizing Logan Canyon in 1923, was what creature? Madhouse. A big bear.
Could this be right?
Narrator, you're just guessing at this point. Madhouse, how daring. Let's see how that turns out for you. Narrator, Madhouse gestures to Atlas who's shaking like a rag doll. Atlas, correct. Madhouse, hey, I certainly wasn't expecting that. Good on you, B. B, oh thanks. Atlas, next question. Madhouse, Question 3. Madhouse, yes Irie. The Rochester giant, sighted in 1965, crushed the hood of whose car? Madhouse. How am I supposed to know that? Atlas, no fair Maddie. Trick questions are totally against the rules.
Are you listening to me?
Madhouse, I think we have time for one last question, as an encore to the folks at home. Narrator, Mike leans into his microphone, lowering his voice to a low growl. Madhouse, do you know what happens to cheaters? Narrator, lifting his hat slightly, Mike's empty white eyes lock onto your fearful gaze. Narrator. Narrator. I lose? Madhouse, of course you lose. Madhouse, I make the rules. It's my show, my rules, my game. Narrator, the ghost suddenly blinks out only to reappear behind Atlas.
You're just another fake fan!
Narrator, sinking down, Mike begins to meld with Atlas and the two form a much larger, scarier creature.
Don't you know who I am?
Madhouse, I'm a goddamn urban legend and I'm done wasting my eternity in this place. Madhouse, don't I deserve to be free? Madhouse, somehow, even in death, I'm still working. All day, every night, all the time, forever. Forever. Madhouse, well I'm done with liars, fakers, and those goddamn ghost hunters. None of them ever cared about the real me. Madhouse, I quit. Madhouse, no more graveyard shifts, no more management, and no more fake fans. Narrator, the pair looks down at their hands and wiggles each finger. Madhouse, and do you know what happens to fake fans? Madhouse, I get their souls. Madhouse, you're a fake and a liar. Narrator, Atlas staggers forward and kicks his talons up and through the air, narrowly missing you. Narrator, you roll off your chair onto the floor, and without realizing it, you sprint for the door in an effort to simply stay alive.
No, please, no!
Yawn! Who freaking cares?
B, we were gonna watch the extended edition of that one fantasy trilogy with director commentary. Narrator, you fumble with the doorknob, trying to get it open. Narrator, the Mothman goes rigid and his antennae flick forward. Atlas, hey? Narrator, Atlas' left leg jerks to one side, almost toppling the Mothman over. Madhouse, stop it. Narrator, he takes another step but trips over nothing, like two drivers fighting for the same steering wheel. Madhouse, Jira. B, J. Jamie. Help Atlas, he's been consumed by the ghost. Narrator, the Jersey Devil clambers into the room, confused. Narrator, they look around, only to watch the possessed Mothman jerk and jitter towards the duo, muttering and clawing at his own feathers. Jamie, that is not Atlas. Success. Roll difficulty, 8. B, D. Don T. Just stand there. Narrator, you dash past the Jersey Devil and successfully duck behind them for a semblance of protection. Without hesitation, Jamie snaps their fingers and a blue inferno suddenly swallows the Mothman in blue flames. Narrator, Jamie leaps into action, dropping into a crouch before scooping up their fallen friend. Jamie, are you hurt? I know some mild healing spells. Jamie. I'm okay, but what about Atlas? B, I'm fine. I'm fine. But what about Atlas? You set him on fire.
You have got to be joking.
Narrator, Jamie looks a little nervous at the human's words. Narrator, shifting their stance, Jamie steps forward and exhales a gout of steam from their jaws, ready to finally squash this pest. Narrator, the Mothman struggles to his feet, flicking off bits of flames as he shakes his head and looks up.
Why must you hurt me?
Narrator, Jamie's taken aback, startled by the Mothman's voice. Jamie, Atlas? I am sorry. I would never hurt you. Narrator, Atlas busts up laughing, but it's not Atlas' voice at all. Narrator, the Mothman drags his talons across the wall, slowly lumbering towards his friend. Madhouse, do you really think he'd believe that, Jamie? Atlas is terrified of you.
Do not say that.
Narrator, Jamie looks down at the floor and buries their face in their hands. Madhouse, oh, you think I'm lying? Then ask him yourself. Madhouse, are you afraid of me? Narrator, Jamie holds their face in their hands, refusing to look at the Mothman before them. Jamie, I can't do that. Madhouse, that's because you already know the answer. Narrator, Atlas' wings suddenly drop to his sides and his knees buckle, sending the Mothman falling flat on his face. Narrator, peeling out of his vessel's crumpled form, the Phantom scoops his hat off the Mothman's head. Having sapped the energy from his host and the tension in the air, Madhouse seems much larger than before. Narrator, as he daintily puts on his red cap, spines sprout from Mike's back and curled horns coil around the crown of the Phantom's head. Jamie, you need to run. Wait, what about Atlas? Jamie, what about you? Narrator, Jamie shoves you aside and charges Madhouse, taking a heavy swing at the demon, their eyes wild with fury. Madhouse, don't you have wicked souls to torment? Narrator, ducking under Jamie's punch, Madhouse rams the devil with his curled horns. Madhouse, go to hell.
I'm going to devour your soul.
Narrator, absolutely fuming now, Jamie grabs Madhouse's horns and swings him up and over their head in a suplex. Narrator, squeezing your eyes shut, you cower, unsure of what to do. Taro. Where are you? Narrator, the door to the studio buckles, splitting open as monstrous Taro bursts into the room. With a triumphant meow, she whirls around and shields her human.
Have no fear, Taro is here.
Taro. Oh my gosh, I thought you were a bear. How'd you get so big? Narrator, you throw out your arms and give the cat spirit a big hug, and Taro's fur bristles in response. Taro, when my human's in trouble, I take on this much more effective form. Taro, sorry to keep you waiting. I've got a bellyache. Narrator, Taro mews weakly. Taro, no more discount sushi, okay?
Is that the best you can do?
Are you listening to me?
Narrator, the green amalgamation drools, his words garbled in this more twisted form. Jamie, I suppose we ought to reschedule with your producer then? Narrator, Jamie hisses through their clenched teeth. Jamie, I wouldn't mind speaking with upper management. Narrator, Mike shudders and his eyes go wide, shaking with an otherworldly rage. Madhouse, screw management. You freaks are just like them.
Don't you know who I am?
Jamie, not technically. Madhouse, and I'm gonna make you all pay. Narrator, you're frozen with fear, gawking at the frenzied demon before you. Mike's glazed over, hungry eyes connect with your petrified gaze and he sneers. Narrator, the combat system still needs refinement before it can be fully implemented, which will happen at a later date. For now, pretend it was a hard-fought ghostly battle.
You're the real deal, huh? Guess that's a wrap, folks.
Narrator, the ghost's form flickers, madhouse crumbling to the floor in an ectoplasmic heap. Jamie, let us finish this. Narrator, Jamie steps forward, a fire roaring in their eyes.
Can you just listen to me?
Narrator, you take hold of Jamie's arm, trying to hold them back.
Are you listening to me?
Narrator, snapping up, Mike musters up the last bit of strength he has and attempts to latch onto you. Jamie, don't you dare. Madhouse, you're coming with me. Narrator, stirring awake, you blink spots from your vision, feeling oddly light. What is this place? You furrow your eyebrows and shield your face from the pale white light. A green figure stands out in the harsh empty space. Narrator, it's Mike, just floating there twiddling his thumbs. Madhouse, ah. You're finally awake.
Boo!
Wait, hold on. What?
Madhouse, sorta. I see it as a doorway between the spirit and material world. Madhouse, now stop talking and give me your soul. B, can you answer my questions first? Narrator, you close their eyes with a heavy sigh, but Mike scowls, folding his arms with a sneer. Madhouse, no way. B, okay. Then I'm gonna go. Madhouse, wait, you can't just leave. We're supposed to duel to the death. Narrator, Mike flails his arms wildly, floating alongside you as you walk in place. B, I can't. Narrator, you continue to walk forward, wandering around this empty space. Madhouse, but I need you as a vessel to escape. Don't you feel bad for me? Simuun, you've seen movies, you know how this ends. B. Madhouse, I can tell you whatever you want. Madhouse. And, narrator, you ball up your fists and shift your weight from your heels to your toes, taking a step forward. Narrator, squeezing your eyes shut, you throw your fist forward and it connects. Madhouse, Kyaok. B, you're an asshole. Madhouse, ow my nose. How'd you even touch me? Narrator, Mike brings a hand to his face, feeling the empty space where a nose would be. B, you dragged me into this hell dimension, and newsflash, we're both ghosts. Narrator, you throw your arms over your head, gesturing around the empty vacuum of space. B, of course I feel bad for you, Mike. You didn't deserve to die, let alone become a monster, but now you're totally acting like one. Narrator, Mike is stunned, unsure of what to say. B, so if you're going to eat my soul, you might as well do it already. Madhouse, gladly. Narrator, the phantom backs off.
I quit.
B, why not? Madhouse, I don't want to eat you. Madhouse, I shouldn't have put you through this. I just don't know what else to do. Madhouse, I want to escape, but what if I up and disappear? I'm absolutely nothing without this job. Madhouse, I can't remember my own face. Narrator, Mike tips his hat down, covering his eyes. B, you're not going to disappear. B, if you really want a fresh start, you could start a podcast. It's like a radio show you carry in your pocket. Madhouse, on your cell phone? Narrator, Mike perks up, a slight twinkle in his dead eyes. Narrator, you go to take out your phone, only to realize it's back in the material world. B. I'll show you later. B. Even if you're a jerk. Madhouse, hat. I'll look forward to it. B. If it means anything, I think you're worth more than this crusty old station. Narrator, the ghost shudders and brings a claw to his face, wiping his eyes. Narrator, Mike hesitates a moment before throwing his arms around you, giving you a big hug.
Thanks for not giving up on me.
B. You should be proud of your work, Mike. Narrator. Madhouse, you'd better go. This place gives me the creeps. Narrator, as the two of you are drowned in light, you swear you catch a glimpse of the phantom's old face, his expression determined with eyes full of life. Narrator.
Are you for real?
Whose side are you on?
Mortals truly never change.
Taro, says the ghost gobbling demon. Jamie, right. Taro, where the hell were you? Taro, TCH, who cares? I was there to protect B and that's what matters.
Bite your tongue.
Atlas, I knew everything would work out.
Do not say that.
Atlas, B but, I really can see the future. Taro, then prove it, mothball. B, ugh.
Stop your yowling.
This isn't my day.
Atlas, nope. Unless we're all ghosts. Narrator, Taro leaps into your arms, nuzzling against your neck and purrs.
That's cute.
Jamie, more importantly, I do not sense the presence of that loathsome ghost. Narrator, Jamie lets out a sigh of relief.
There's no feathers off my back.
Narrator, Atlas still looks a little frazzled and roughed up from the whole possession thing. Narrator, you don't respond, a lump forming in the back of your throat. Narrator, trailing behind the group, you stare down at the ground, listening to cold gravel crunching under your shoes. Slowing to a stop, the group reaches the car, watching as you dig around in your pocket and pull out a set of car keys. Narrator, the crew takes one last look back at the abandoned station. You watch as cracks and vines climb up its walls, the radio tower starting to rust over as the gleaming red beacon at the top flickers, then blinks out. Jamie, is something wrong? You look distressed. Narrator, Jamie places a clawed hand on your shoulder. B, oh yeah, it's cool. Haha, don't worry about me. Jamie, do you mind if we catch a ride with you? Atlas, and can we crash at your place? I'd rather not bother my friend Gus at this hour. He's extra cranky this lunar cycle. Taro, we don't mind. The more the meowier.
Can you just listen to me?
I have feelings too.
Jamie, I do love sleepovers.
This isn't my day.
Hold on a sec.
B, I don't know how to feel. I didn't get any answers about this stupid curse, I nearly died, and now my one source of information is gone. Jamie, it is alright to be upset.
Oh, I got a story about this one!
Atlas, every rumor holds a speck of truth. Atlas, like eating spiders in your sleep.
You have got to be joking.
Atlas, oh thank God. Jamie, and? Narrator, Jamie elbows Atlas, shooting him a cold look. B, how is that pleasant? Atlas, I thought it'd be neat to spend time with you guys. And I can try scrounging up another lead for your Problem.
I feel strangely happy.
Atlas, see? No harm done. Jamie, I would not go that far.
Which side are you on?
B. Ugh. Narrator, piling into the car, you flick on the headlights and turn the key, pulling out of the parking lot away from the abandoned radio station. Narrator, trailing through the woods, you click on the radio, back to channel 103.1. Your heart sinks as all you hear is static drowning out the narrator. Taking a deep breath, you finally muster up the courage to change the channel, flipping back to a generic oldies station. Narrator, looking over your shoulder, you see Jamie resting their head against the car window, already dozing off. Though, one sharp turn would shatter their horns through the glass. At least Taro looks adorable all curled up in Jamie's arms. Narrator, your cell phone chimes in the cup holder of the car and much to your dismay, it's a phone call. The number is a garbled mess of words and numbers, even the screen is glitching out. Narrator. Yes. Narrator, the phone in your grasp shudders, the screen glitching out as a mass of green ooze squeezes itself through the dock connector. With a wet splat, the slime ball picks itself up and forms a small glowing orb.
Good evening, freaksters!
Atlas, whoa. Hey, that's so cool. B, you were seriously camping out on my phone? Madhouse, bingo. No way am I beefing it yet. I've got a ton of life left in me. Madhouse, tying yourself to a person takes a lot of negative energy, so I figured, why not try a smartphone instead? This thing's jam-packed with bad vibes. Atlas, just stay off the internet. Madhouse, too late, I've seen it all. Jamie, you. Narrator, a gout of steam curls from Jamie's jaws, heat rising off the awoken demon. Their wild eyes lock onto the glowing green orb, who squeaks out in fear.
Consume, corrupt, destroy!
B, Jamie. Atlas, Jamie, be cool. Remember what we practiced? Be cool. Jamie, you'll make a fine meal. Narrator, Jamie throws their clawed hand forward, slashing at Mike, who bounces around the passenger seat. Madhouse, oh shit. Narrator, the ghost darts around the car, desperately trying to avoid Jamie's demonic clutches. Atlas, B, eyes on the road. B, I'm trying.
I'm going to devour your soul.
Taro, watch me out loud. Narrator, coming up fast, a hulking figure stands wide-eyed on the road, staring blankly at the car racing towards them. Atlas frantically grabs at the wheel. Everyone, off. Narrator, the car skids forward, squealing as you slam on the brake. Narrator, crunch. To be continued. Narrator, check our About page if you'd like to follow development and stay tuned for future updates.
If you like this video, check out our channel for more. Also, don't forget to subscribe.